What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. I'm back in the game with another video, so let's go ahead and rock this joint. So today I want to talk to you about a situation that went down in Leesburg, Georgia, where two black men that worked for FedEx got fired because they got into a racist confrontation with a redneck.
The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soap steal. He's in buying, he's way behind, so he's willing to make a deal.
You damn straight the devil went down to Georgia, and apparently he has never left. Because the situation that went down with Ahmaud Arbery, and now you have this situation, it's clear to see that Georgia is definitely displaying their hatred and bigotry towards African Americans. So this is what went down. You have two brothers that's doing their job, right? The driver is actually training a guy by the name of Antonio Braswell. Now, we haven't recovered the name of the actual driver, and he's the one that got into the confrontation with the redneck. Now, this is what blows my mind. You have this redneck, or his wife, or someone that lives in that particular household, know that they have ordered something, and they also can keep up with the tracking to know that that particular package should be delivered that day during that time. So when you see a FedEx truck in your yard, you should be focused on receiving your package, and that's it. But these rednecks decided to focus on the race that was delivering their packages, all right? Because they weren't white. They had a problem with them being in their yard. So the homeowner comes out of his house, starts screaming at the delivery driver. All right. And so Antonio Braswell is getting trained by the driver, like I previously stated. And so he started recording the situation, and the redneck is recording the situation as well. And he calls the cops on the two brothers. So I want you guys to take a look at the clip, and then I'll be back to break this all down.
No, I do not yield, not 1 second
what I
to
expected.
you.
Thank you,
Not
ma'am.
1 second.
Get out here and tell me shit. Say it out here.
You lying like hell.
You can put it on video camera. I don't care. Come on, say it. No, you come out here and tell me again you gonna whoop me. That's what I want you to do. Put it on video camera. I want you to.
You said you were gonna come.
No, you don't lie.
Man, you lying like hell,
You
bro.
your glasses off and said you were gonna beat my ass. Come out here and do it. That's what I want you to do. 911.
Man, this dude straight lying, bro. On God.
Man, you know
this
he
man lying, bro. On God. This man came out of nowhere and started cursing, bro.
One thing I don't feel is that right there. I want you to just say what you said when I was on your grass.
This man came out and started.
And you tell me to move.
grass.
You're right. I didn't never say I wasn't. I don't move off of your grass. But you didn't have to come out there cussing me like that, like I'm some child. I ain't no little boy. I'm no little boy. I'll wait till the police come.
You can record all you want, bro. I got
that's
you.
Right there.
I got
that's
you,
where
bro.
your power at right there. That's your power. That's his power. That's where your power at right there.
Where you going?
Man, I ain't finna waste my time with you. You got my information. You got my information. They'll find me. They'll find me. You need to get your glasses back on. Yeah, I thought you were gonna whoop my ass too.
All right, so Antonio Braswell was the trainer. Well, no, he was actually being trained by the driver. And basically he recorded what went down. So he went to his Twitter and he posted the incident on Twitter. And then he was contacted by his employer, which is FedEx, and they instructed him to take the video down. So this is what Antonio had to say in regards to the situation. Update: FedEx called and told me to take down this video and fired both of us today. I'm reposting this video because people like him, doesn't matter white or any race, should never disrespect essential workers putting their lives in jeopardy, especially with this COVID-19. Now, FedEx did respond, and this is what they said. They said they didn't fire the men, as they were employed by an independent service provider, which is no longer providing service on the behalf of FedEx, but has offered employment to them both. A statement added, "We are aware of the incident in Georgia that led to the release of two drivers employed by the service provider. We're offering employment while investigating to ensure an appropriate outcome. We take seriously allegations of discrimination, retaliation, or improper employment actions. FedEx and Blackwell have been contacted for further comment. So after the situation went down, the police did come out and talk to the redneck. So the redneck told the police this. Now, these are the words of Antonio Bradswell, the guy that was being trained that was recording the whole situation. He said, "So we stopped the truck, and that's when I started recording the incident. After the video, the police came and we told our side of the story, and the man said to the police they looked like they would have broken into my house while my wife is there. The white dude was lying the whole time."
You have come to the wrong house. Criminal record, toothless. Some of the stories behind why we're the way we are may be misled.
Alright, so since these two brothers lost their jobs, someone set up a GoFundMe account, and basically the goal was to raise $75,000 because these two brothers do have families that they have to take care of, and as of today, they're at $63,280, right? So they're close to the $75,000. And as you can see, people were going to Antonio Bradswell's page to see if they have set up a GoFundMe account. Now, according to Antonio Bradswell, he thanked @GA followers for helping them set up a GoFundMe account. Now, shout out to all the black people and all the white people and other races that donated to this cause, because it was a collective effort. If you look and you see who's donated, people who pitched in, people who said they pitched in and posted their receipts on Twitter, you know, it was a collective effort. It was people from all backgrounds and different races. Just glad that there's some people out there that understand the dynamic of this situation and decided to help these two brothers that have families that they need to take care of. Now, let me talk about the situation that went down. Now, the one thing that I wish that these brothers were able to get what this guy said, what this ignorant hick said, you know, when he came out the house cursing at them and things of that nature. But you're not prepared for a confrontation when you think you're just out there doing your job. So I'm pretty sure that that guy came out the house and was cursing them out. And by the time they decided to record, they couldn't get the part where he was being disrespectful. So you know how the system is. The system is going to look at that and they're going to say, well, we don't have any proof of what he said. We don't have any proof of what Billy Bob said. So it's actually going to work in his favor in a sense. If it was to go to court and when they're done with their investigation, I'm pretty sure that they're going to find a way to blame the employees, because the first thing they're going to bring up is you have the ability to leave the scene. The customer is always right. No matter what he's saying to you, make a report, do what you have to do, but don't go back and forth with the customer. That is what they're going to use against these two gentlemen, especially the driver. But black folks, we know what the deal is, right? They are in the state of Georgia, correct? So it wouldn't surprise me if this redneck isn't upset that two other rednecks that he doesn't even know got caught for doing Ahmaud Arbery the way that they did Ahmaud. And so he's upset about that situation. So anybody black that he comes in contact with, he wants to start some type of confusion. He wants to have a confrontation. He wants to take that anger and pain out on other black people. And it wouldn't surprise me that the reason why the FedEx driver didn't leave the scene immediately is because he's feeling the pain from what happened to Ahmaud. And basically, I think he stood his ground because he's like, look, let me tell you something. You hicks are not going to punk me. And just because you don't want me on your yard or on your grass, you're not going to curse me out. I'm not some little boy. All right, you heard my man. I'm not some little boy. So he stood up to him, and I give him an A+ for that, because it's time for us to stop backing down and forgiving these racists. And just to think about what this redneck told the police, he said that the two FedEx guys dressed in FedEx gear, driving a FedEx truck, looked like they were going to break into his house with his wife in there. Come on, man. What a sorry excuse. What a sorry excuse. Those men were there to do a job. You just didn't want them in your yard because they was black. Let's be honest about it, okay? And for all we know, you could have had Dylan, Bob, Bubba, and Trailer Park Trash Tammy back there hiding in the woods with shotguns, waiting for you to initiate some type of confrontation. And soon as that brother stepped back in your yard, and if he would have put hands on you, they would have came out shooting, justifying why they had to use some type of deadly force. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. Bubba was back there and Trailer Park Trash Tammy. But anyway, black people, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Invest in some protection, okay? Stop going out here and buying Gucci and, you know, all this Fendi and whatever. I don't care. Stop investing your money in things that are not going to protect you, because we're living in a society now where we have to understand that the odds have been stacked up against us. But at this time, the world is changing and we don't know what lies ahead. And it's the best thing, right? It's best for us to be prepared to defend ourselves, not to go out here and inflict any type of pain or punishment on someone just because. But in the event, if we're challenged and our lives are in danger and our family is in danger, we have to have the ability to protect ourselves. And another thing, we have to start holding white people accountable, white racist people accountable, right? Don't let them deflect. As soon as an unarmed black man gets killed in the streets, and the first time we start to rally and come together and we want justice for that senseless killing, the first thing they want to bring up is, why are you acting this way? Why don't you go to your community and take care of the black on black crime? Well, there wouldn't be that much black on black crime if we were put in a position to excel. See, this is the thing. We are confined to the projects most of the times, and there's a dream, an American dream that white people put out there. So when black people see that American dream, they'll do anything to get to that American dream, if that means killing your own brother and sister to get there. So therefore, don't try to blame black people for all black on black crime. We understand as a community that there's some things that we need to work on, and y'all do too. The problem is y'all don't want to admit it, because if you admit you're wrong, it diminishes white supremacy, because when you admit it, that means that you've been held accountable and you acknowledged it. If you don't acknowledge white supremacy and you don't acknowledge that there's a problem with racism and systemic oppression and things of that nature, white supremacy cannot be challenged to the point where there's certain changes that would be made for the better of minorities. And also, with you admitting that there's a problem, it also weakens white supremacy. Now, when you don't admit it, it keeps white supremacy strong, and that's the way that they want to keep it. So this is the thing, y'all. We have to be better at understanding that we need to stop forgiving racism. That needs to stop right now, okay? Moving forward, we're not forgiving racists, all right? There's no forgiving. You know what I'm saying? Let God forgive. You don't forgive racism. We have to hold racism accountable. But anyway, I'm going to let this go and let y'all have that in the comments. Drop down and let a brother know what you think about this commentary. And let me know how you feel about the FedEx workers. Were they in the wrong? Do you feel that they were justified for challenging racism and things of that nature? All right. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll get with you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.